हो गया सेट हो गया। Continue with this. Samma paribhaja नहीं सकता. Three. 368. You thinking people salute me is not great.
Fourth वाला था last वाला. The sound is a little muffled. So I'm wondering if it's because we reduced the.
Discussing the Sutta, which talks about who is a right, who is a good bhikkhu. So we start with 369. Left side with 369. Actually, translation में और पाली वाले में थोड़ा डिफरेंस है. लोभंच भावंच विपहाया विरतो छेदन बंधन च विद्धि सूतिन्न कथम न कथो विसर्गो सम्मा स्वलोके कविपज्ये. लोभ को भव को विपहाया उसको छोड़ दिया. So one who abandons covetousness and becoming. Virato Chedan Bandhana Acharya. So who abstains from Chedan Bandhana, दूसरों को रोकने से और हार्म करने से, who abstains from that. So तिन्न कथम अकथो और मैं फिर it means doubt. So he who has overcome the doubt, Visallo, arrow. So he has removed the arrow means arrow of desire. Sammasaloke Paripajya. Such a one would be properly homeless life. Okay? So let us read the next.
360, 370 sir.
370 of the Pali version.
Sarupam Tanu 373 of
नहीं ठीक है ये सारूपम मत्तनो
Sarupam Tanu Vidita Nocha Bhikkhu Himseya Kanchi Loke Yattha Tathyam Viditva Dhamman Sammaso Loke Paribhajye.
सारूपम तनो विदित्वा तनो मतलब अपने लिए विदित्वा मतलब जानता है सारूपम क्या ठीक है so one who knows what is suitable for him नोच भिक्खु हिंसे या कंची लोके इस संसार में किसी की भी हिंसा नहीं करता किसी भी तरह की हिंसा नहीं करती यथा तथीयम विदित्वा धम्मम और यथा तथीयम जैसा है वैसा ही जानता है So he knows Dhamma as it really is. Such a one is lead a homeless life properly.
यसा नसोया न संति केचि मूला च अकुशला समूहता अथस्य सो निसारो अनासिसानो सम्मासो लोके परिभज्य.
Yes, अनुशय मतलब अनुशय क्लेश latent tendencies न शांति केची कुछ भी नहीं रह गए मूला च अकुशला समूहता से जो अकुशल का मूल है उसने उसको उठा फेंक दिया निकाल दिया रिमूव्ड ऑन और डिस्ट्रॉयड इट सो निराशो आशा जिसकी नहीं है डिजायरलेस है अनासिसानो Sammas loke paribhajya. One who is free from desires, such a one will properly lead a homeless life.
आसवखिनो पहिनामन्यो सत्वं रागपत्थम उपजीवत्तु दंड परिनिष्ठितो इच्छतो सम्मान स्वलोके परिवज्या.
आसव क्षीणो इसके आसव क्षीण हो गए हीन मानो मान जो है डिस्ट्रॉय हो गया है ईगो खत्म हो गई सत्वम राग प्रथम उपत्त वित्तो तो राग के जितने भी बात है उन सबको ओवरकम कर लिया was overcome the path of passion. Danto is restrained, Parinibbato is emancipated, Chittato is steadfast. Such a one would lead properly a homeless life.
Sattva Suttva Niyam Dasti Vagga Tesu Na Vagga Sari Hiyo Dobham Dosam Vinay Patikam Sammaso Loke Paribhajye.
Sattva Suttva Niyama Dasi. One who is Saddha है जिसमें confidence है devotion है Suttva one who is learned Niyama Dasi who sees the way Vagga Gatesu Na Vagga Sari Dhiyo who is not sectarian एक वर्ग को नहीं बिलोंग करता who is not among the people who quarrel out sects he remains non-partisan लोभम दोषम विनय प्रतिज्ञेयम लोभ को दोष को और प्रतिज्ञेय को इल्दिल को let them away Sammaso loke paribhajya. So remove greed, anger and ill will. लोभ हो गया greed, दोषम को anger कर लिया और फिर Patigraham will translate this. संस्कृत जीनो युवत्त छात्र ब्रह्मेशु त्वसी आरगु अनेचो संखार निरोध अन्यान कुशलो सम्मा सुलोके परिपज्ये। संशुद्ध जिनो, जिन मतलब जो विक्टोरियस है, संशुद्ध प्योर है। विवत्त छत्र, जो भी वेल्स है वो हटा दिए। वेल्स मीन्स वेल्स ऑफ नेगेटिविटीज। धम्मेशु वसी पारगु अनेजु, धम्मेशु वसी, who is well disciplined in the धम्मा। पारगु मतलब पार कर लिया, अनेजु is gone to the other shore, is desireless। संखार निरोध अन्यान कुशलो, संखार निरोध is skilled in the cessation of sankharas, क्लियर है कि संखारास समाप्त हो गए। सच्चे वन would lead properly rootless life।
अतीतेषु अनागतेषु चापि कप्पातीतो अतिच्च शुद्धिपन्नो सब्बायतनेहि विप्पुमतो सम्मासु लोके परिपज्ये।
अतीत हो गया पास्ट, अनागत फ्यूचर। चापी कप्पातीतो अतिच्च शुद्धिपन्नो was transcended the thoughts in relation to past and future। सब्बाय तन्हेहि, जितनी भी तन्हाएं हैं, विप्प मुक्त, जितनी भी सेंसुअल ऑब्जेक्ट से डिजायर्स हैं, उससे मुक्त हो गया है। अतिच्च शुद्ध पन्नो वो छोड़ दिया। अतिच्च शुद्ध पन्नो मतलब विजडम बहुत शुद्ध है, उसकी क्लियर है। सब्बाय तन्हेहि विप्प मुक्त, who is freed from all the tanha, liberated from all the sensual desires।
अनन्य पदम समेचा धम्मम विवातं तिस्वाना
विवटं
स्वान पहा नमस्या
पहानम आसवनम, ब्रेक इट प्रॉपर्ली तो क्लियर हो जाता है।
पहानम आसवनम सद्गु पाधिनम परिखयनो सम्मासु लोके परिबजया।
अन्याय पदम समेच धम्म, who knows the path of dhamma properly। विवत्तम विस्वान पहान संवनम, who clearly sees the abandonment of defilement, आसवों का defilement, पहान आसव। सब उपाधिनम परिखयन, जितनी भी उपाधियां हैं, अटैचमेंट्स हैं, उन सबको परिखयम, ज्ञान परिखय क्षय एलिमिनेट कर दिया। सम्मास लोके परिपज्ये। इतना सब भगवान ने कहा। देन दी भिक्षु सेज अद्धा ही भगवो तथाएव एतम यो एवं विहारि दंतो भिक्षु सर्व संयोजन योग वीतिवत्तो सम्मास लोके परिपज्ये। अद्धा ही भगवा, सचमुच यही है भगवान। दिस इज द तथैव एवं, दिस इट इज सो। यो एवं विहारि दंतो भिक्षु, whoever भिक्षु is restrained and lives in this way, sabba sanyojanam yoga vitti vakto, has overcome all the fetters, sammasa loke, such a person would lead a homeless life। So even to lead a good homeless life, one has to have all these qualities, which essentially means it's a arahant which can lead a properly homeless life, isn't it? one who has destroyed all defilements, got established in equanimity. So we have to start today with the unwholesome mental states. We'll discuss the basics and discuss the mental factors which are ethically variable. We concluded, isn't it?
Yes.
So if there's any comment on them, you can do, otherwise we'll move further with unwholesome mental factors.
एक चीज बताइए, जो मुद्रास में जो प्रेजेंटेशन है, जैसे कल पते समुपात की बात कर रहे हैं, और the way Abhidhamma presents it, there seems to be some difference in how it is presented. So, for instance, it appears that to me it appears that जो वोल्यूशन की for instance बात होती है, यहाँ पे we are talking of volition in a very different way. We are saying that there isn't, that volition is also conditioned and so on. Over there, it seems to be more black and white. That there are sankharas and there is volition. There were a couple of others that I don't now recall. So I'm just trying to understand if the presentation in Abhidhamma is more disaggregate and more accurate. Is that what the issue is? Of course. Or is it merely a lack of my understanding?
No, there's no doubt on that. The whole idea of Abhidhamma compilation, whether it was done by Buddha or Sariputta, let's not get into that. The whole idea is to clear out these various misgivings which analytical mind will get into. If you have a Saddha dominant mind, then you accept it and move further. If you have an analytical mind, then you begin to confuse कि क्या हो रहा है. संखार बच्चे अविज्ञानम तो कौन सा संखार है? So those issues begin to arise, and then Vedana Pachya Tanha, then we say Vedana Pachya Panya. तो ये दोनों कैसे हुए?
Exactly.
कुछ तो है ना? Something is amiss, something is implicit. So all those things become clear when we study the Abhidhamma. That is the whole idea of it, to clarify. When you say Sankhara Pachya Vijnanam, it's clear. Sankhara is Chetana, Krishna, whatever is that part. So those things become clearer when you analyze them. So the whole idea is to clarify those kind of misgivings which can arise if we are not very careful. So even the term Pachya is explained properly. Pachya is not the same in every links. They are different. So we can't understand it just by that unless we know what does Pachya mean and what are the kind of relationships which are possible. It says Sankhara Pachya Vijnana. It means Sankhara is conditioned Vijnana. In what way? Vijnana Pachya Namaru. In what way? So all that will become clear only when we study the complete framework. So that was the main reason for formulation. That's how I think.
So if it appears that there is some contradiction,
Not contradiction. There can be some ambiguities. There are multiple classifications in suttas. So when we'll study this, then we'll, I think, have a chance to discuss it. Unwholesome mental factors. If you study in sutta, we talk of anushya-kleshas, we talk of nivaranas, we talk of the negativities of various kinds, sanyojanas, we talk of fetters, so many things. And they seem to be independent, but they are same in many cases. So to organize all that, unwholesome mental factors, and you will see that those various categories which have been made in suttas represent commonality, many of them. So that's the reason that one should not feel कि इतनी सारी चीजें हैं क्या? 10 fetters भी हैं, 5 निवरण भी हैं, अनुशय क्लेश भी हैं, इतनी सारी चीजें पड़ी. So there are not so many of them really. So they are all 14. That's all. So that is the point being made, that we should get clear about it. So I think today when we will study, it will help us to think clear. System is behaving abnormally today. So to start then. Anybody has any questions from them? If there are any points which are not clear in what we have discussed. So let us see what is in store for us in terms of unwholesome mental factors. So it has been classified here into 14 types. Finished. So there are 14 kinds of unwholesome mental factors. 4 of them are universals, which means they will be present in every unwholesome consciousness. And rest of 10 are occasionals, which may or may not be. Some of them may be present, some may not be present, depending on the nature of consciousness. So let us see what are these universal, wholesome, unwholesome factors. There are 4 of them: moha, ahirika, anuttappa, uddhacca.
जब भी आप नेक्स्ट स्लाइड में जाने को बता दें.
Next one we are discussing. Next slide. So moha means delusion, avidya. Okay, what is in suttas, the word avidya is often used for that. So what does it mean really? Mental blindness. That is concealment of real nature of the object. That is the definition given in the commentaries. What does it mean, concealment? That we are not able to see the real characteristics of it and we get carried away by the appearances. So moha has that characteristic. It creates a illusion in our mind. And we can't see the reality as it is. We get carried away by the appearances. And, as I put it in red, should be seen as the root of all that is unwholesome. But of course it can also exist alone. So it is counted as a separate unwholesome root. Because if it had been only the root of others and not alone, then there was no need to discuss it as a separate mental factor.
So, avidya and moha.
No, they'll say. Avidya is a word used often in the suttas. Here they call it moha.
Doha and the Lawrence are same.
Yeah, that's it. Because when we get into the notes, so later we'll come to that, so I'll not confuse you about it. If you want to ask any question, we'll remove that note. The other two are Ahirika and Anuttapa. They always occur together. Ahirika means shamelessness and Anuttapa means recklessness. So it is having no shamelessness means that बुरे काम करने में हमें कोई शर्म नहीं आती. We just do it. And recklessness means that we are not bothered about the consequences and we do what we feel like doing. So they are the two characteristics of every unwholesome state or this. So the example which is given is just as a pig revels in the field. Similarly, a person who is overwhelmed by ahirika will not be afraid of doing anything. He can do anything. And recklessness, the example is given of a moth going towards a candlelight.
No, consequences.
Not bothered about the consequences of going there. And of course, they are examples and we can easily relate it to the kind of things which we get into. We get into activities which we know are going to be dangerous, and people yet do them, isn't it? On the road, you can see recklessness all the time.
At a more subtle level, Darshan, कुछ recklessness के examples दीजिए related to meditative or spiritual men. The crude examples are very obvious. I mean, the gross examples.
In meditation camps, you'll find people who don't mind trampling on the seats or disturbing others, even though it's being again and again said, "Aisa mat karo." That's a typical example of shamelessness. You don't worry about your kind of unwholesome act which you are doing. And similarly, what could be anuttapa, recklessness in our meditation, we say. When people ignore the conditions which are the advice given, like when you are meditating, don't focus too much on one part of the body. Something that is common लोगों के लिए, मेरे लिए नहीं है. I'm finding this sensation so pleasant, so let me enjoy it for long period. That's recklessness. But you can get into real trouble. कईयों को यहाँ पे ध्यान करने पे अगर आने संस्कार है, अच्छा लगता है, तो ठीक है. लोगों के लिए, सामान्य लोगों के लिए मैं तो पहले से ध्यान कर रहा हूँ, उनके लिए तो ठीक है, 1 मिनट से ज़्यादा नहीं रुकना मैं तो. Let me see what goes on. And then you work on that for long periods of time. So that's, I think, a typical example of recklessness. Relate it to others, which this comes to my mind immediately based on what I have seen.
I am thinking ये mental भी हो सकता है. Recklessness can also be not only physically manifested but also manifested in how one directs the thoughts or does not direct them.
Really, we have to think about it. So, Can you elaborate? What do you mean by mental?
मैं ये सोच रहा हूँ, for example, that often you may have the arising of what you may define conventionally as unwholesome thoughts, and we often tend to just allow them to continue, etc., etc., or further feed them. And I'm beginning to wonder if
जानबूझ के कोई करता है क्या? Knowingly, it's a question of knowingly doing things.
because it may be enjoyable more. And it may not apparently be unwholesome. I think lust is an example of that.
Well, the people who maybe more of a overpowering of lobha, of raga, craving, than recklessness. Recklessness would mean that he knows that it is wrong, and yet he is doing it. He knows that it will lead to danger. So a person who commits sexual misconduct, that could be called restlessness. But a householder getting overpowered by lust in a relationship with his spouse, I don't think that would come under that. A bhikkhu getting overpowered and then doing obviously the recklessness.
So recklessness is always volitional.
Of course, they are all mental factors which arise, in which a person is knowing that it will harm him and yet doing it. He knows that it is an evil deed and still does it. There's no shame in doing that. There's no fear of wrongdoing. क्या होता है, क्या फर्क पड़ेगा, देख लेंगे.
But that could also be simply habit pattern, no? That's all.
Yeah, of course, they are all habit pattern is sankhara.
तो उसमें knowing कहाँ है? वो तो उसमें knowing कहाँ है? वो तो एक almost automatic reaction है ना to whatever is the conditions.
The mental factor which is responsible for what you are calling as the action is this. After everything is when you do craving, when you do anger, they all become. If that sankhara has become strong, it seems to be immediately responsive. That is basically because in this conscious stream of consciousness, that habit pattern is so strong. But that is a mental factor. What you call as a habit pattern is a mental factor. Whenever the unconsciousness is unwholesome, these mental factors will be present to some degree or less. To some degree, intensity can be more or less, but they will be present. So it's not that one is going to be reckless always to the extent of committing murders, but in a very subtle way, there is a ignoring of the consequences.
One example, if somebody doesn't understand the consequences, it will be called moha.
Yeah. If he's
उसको पता ही नहीं है कि ये इसकी reality क्या है, ये मुझे outcome इसका खराब होगा.
then it is of course
होगा. और अगर उसको पता है और फिर भी ignore कर रहा है, then it is that.
moha is mental blindness, avidya.
Okay, yes. And now I follow. That's the difference.
So for example, I made a note about it, about ahirika. So check on ahirika would I be proud if my thoughts were reported in the tomorrow's newspaper? So that could be a check. Or my thought is shared with my family members or with my children especially. That would be a good way of recognizing. And the last one of the universal thing is the or restlessness. We all, I think, know what is restlessness. Fluttering of the example is given fluttering of a banner, you know, फड़फड़ाता है जैसे बैनर, वैसे ही मन भी फड़फड़ाता रहता है, क्या हो रहा है. It can be a mild disturbance and or be a major turmoil which is happening in the mind. And it will happen in presence of everything, whether it is lobha or moha or greed or anger, everywhere. There will be restlessness. So the examples which are given is like a wind-tossed water, wavering as function like a flag waving in wind, whirling as manifestation like scattered ashes struck by a stone. So unsystematic thought going to mental excitement is the proximate cause that needs to be made. So these are the 4 universal unwholesome mental factors. Now let us reflect whether this matches with our understanding.
So, Richa, what is the
Restlessness. I mentioned this restlessness is one factor which goes only within our minds. It remains in a reduced form right till that time. Because as long as there is ignorance, there will be restlessness. In a very subtle way, ignorance will be, and it's causing some kind of a restlessness.
So is this restlessness same as the restlessness that we feel in suffering?
Yeah, suffering means it could be gross or it could be subtle. That's all. Gross or subtle. If we deeply investigate the state of our mind at any time, calmly, find some element of restlessness inside. Some fear, some apprehension about future, some past remorse, something, whatever is going on in the mind, this will always be there. And ignorance, of course, is all present. That's it. We may not be able to distinguish shamelessness and recklessness so easily, because that seems very strong and in a subtle way it is there. But restlessness, so मालूम पड़ जाती है कि mind is not quiet and calm. You want to sit quietly and calmly, and find just few minutes you sit and some thought will come and shake you.
So sometimes you wonder what pops up those thoughts. Suddenly a thought comes from nowhere.
They are the unshaked nations, carrying on latent tendencies which have become unconscious, carrying on.
They seem to come from nowhere.
But they are continued with the stream of consciousness, of which we are not aware. Sometimes, suppose you just calm, say, okay, we'll keep quiet for 5 minutes, we'll not do anything. See what happens? Something will happen. Then we will be. So you may not be shaken कि यहाँ से बाहर निकल जाओ, but some agitation happens, some restlessness happens. So these are the universally factors. That's why they are called universal factors. Moha is easy to understand, तो है ही है. Delusion तो फंसा ही है. कोई आदमी दिख रहा है, औरत दिख रही है, तो delusion तो है ही है. You're not able to see the things as आदमी और औरत को concept नहीं मानते, reality मान रखा है. That's a problem, of course. That is comparatively easily figured out. Let's move forward. What are the proximate causes? I think that will give us an idea.
ये जो thought वाली बात है और जो अनुसंधान, so are you saying that I mean, can you help us understand this anosite creation is better? So, because this is he's very right, no? This thing just seems to pop randomly, or if one may put it more dramatically, is injected from outside. In fact, I was listening to one of these Sri Aurobindo ki ek wo thi. So when he meets this yogi in Baroda, Lele, the way Aurobindo describes is that Lele teaches him how to stop the thought from coming in. So I was wondering what is going on. How does this originate? Very much what Rajesh is saying.
For this, we'll have to wait, because we have to understand the concept of Bhavanga Chitta and the subconscious dream, what happens in dreamless state, when we are deep sleep, or how do we wake up? Isn't it? Same thing. So it has to come from there. So it will be premature to discuss it. उसी में फंस जाएंगे. तो इसको वो थोड़ा सा we'll have to iterate to really get at it. So let us see what are the proximate causes of these universal factors, because that's very crucial. For moha, the proximate cause is said in the literature to be unwise attention, ayoniso manasikara. And same is true of udacca, unwise attention. And for others, it's very interesting, for shamelessness it is said lack of respect for self. And recklessness, lack of respect for others. Isn't it beautiful?
So why is it resistance for others?
Because dangers, we are ready to create dangers for others.
We would create dangers for ourselves also.
Yeah. We can create for ourselves also and for others. But when it manifests as an impact on the world, it is seen this is suggested to be the crucial reason. So you can realize the importance of Manasikara and Yoniso Manasikara. So what is the Yoniso Manasikara? Proper attention. We have seen Manasikara as one of the universal mental factors, ethically variable. Kabhi humne discuss kiya tha. Manasikara can be wise or unwise. So, where did we study Manasikara? Do you remember? Which was the sutta where it was prominently discussed? No? Rahulovada Sutta. Uchavekha. Rahula, what is a mirror for? For reflection. And then started from there, there was a series of reflections. Before you are going to do something, while you are doing something, and after doing something, reflect whether what you are going to do is bring harm to you, harm to others, or harm to both. Don't do it. If it does not bring harm to you, does not bring harm to others, does not bring harm to both, do it. Okay? That's what is reflection. In one of the suttas, beautifully put. And then there are reflections in other suttas also. We have, I think, discussed. So I have to ask, where else we did study reflection? You remember? Satipatthana, you remember? There were so many reflections in the contemplation on body parts, in the Ashubha Bhavana, in the contemplation on symmetries, that you see the dead body, जैसी वो है वैसा ये है. Again and again that statement was being said. You see the body is going to be bleated, जैसे ये हाल हुआ इसका भी यही हाल होने वाला है. You see the body broken down, repeated, every stage पे वो भगवान कहते हैं जैसी ये है वैसा ही वो है, जैसा वो है वैसा ही है. Tremendous reflection. If you reflect it again and again and again, just get a sankhara in your mind. Yoniso Mansikara. This is right reflection. Then one more I want to say before we discuss, because I have been discussing with it, so I want to remind you. You remember we had talked of 5 reflections which every Yoniso Mansikara. So you can now see the importance of that. What are the 5 reflections? Do you remember?
Nature to sickness. I can't go beyond sickness. And nature to age. Can't stop
Jaradhamon hi jaram anatitoti. Vyadidhamon hi vyadimantitoti. So old age, illness, death. This is the characteristic, and I have not. This is not avoidable. Anatitoti, to hoke hi rahega. Then third, what was the 4th? All that is sabbe may be, whatever is dear to me will be different and separated from. Then 5th one,
Kama Kyoda.
kamma sakomi, kamma dayado, kamma yoni, kamma bandhu, kamma patisavanam. So I feel that we should recite them every time we sit. Tremendous impact. That's why they say to monks, recitation at impact. This is Yoniso Manasikara. If you recite about these again and again and again, thinking बदल जाएगी ना. फिर वो जो बूढ़े होंगे तो परेशानी नहीं होगी. ठीक है, बार बार कह रहे थे ना धम्मो में तो हो गया ना. अब क्या है, बीमार होना तो हो गया ना. So we don't recognize the importance of Yoniso Manasikara because of our mechanistic approach to meditation. So you can see the importance of the moha, which is the root of all our problems.
It's because of unwise attention.
Unwise attention.
Objects of
that is the proximate cause, immediate cause. So there are others also. This is the immediate cause. You give unwise attention, you will be deluded and you will be overcome by moha. Don't reflect properly. Oh, what a pleasant thing, what a wonderful thing. Get carried away. Then that moha will lead to craving or aversion. That's how the whole kind of drama begins. Drama of suffering begins. And restlessness starts. The moment you have unwise attention, restlessness will start. बीमार हो गया, शरीर में कुछ हो रहा है. This is the nature of body, that's it. What is there to get restless about it? So if you reflect upon it again and again and again, I think those 5 reflections ही काफी है हमारे. That's how they've selected them. Very powerful 5 reflections. मैं बीच में करता हूँ, लेकिन मैंने कल डिसाइड किया कि मुझे रोज करना चाहिए. शांत में भी reminder, because those are the things which you face every moment of our life. Kamma Sakoni is a very powerful, very powerful reflection. Yes. Whatever we face in life is because of our own karma. If you remember it again and again, then we will not blame others for our suffering. And so much of our suffering will be reduced just by that action of not blaming others.
So Raghav's question is that in which sutta these 5 reflections occur?
It is a sutta. Uttachapa sutta. I don't remember the reference, but if you Google it, kar lo.
But 5 reflections, I don't have internet. 5 reflections are very easily available.
हाँ नहीं, वो पूछ रहे सुत्ता कौन सा. एक है सुत्ता, उत्तजपा सुत्ता ऐसा कुछ है. कल ही मैं देख रहा था कि सब मेरे को भी एक क्वेश्चन हुआ कि इसी सुत्ता में तो होगा. So I found there is, and 5 reflections has in large number of Google hits. बहुत सारी जगह आता है. and it has been used by different people in different ways. So there is a sutta in which these are.
ये वहाँ मॉर्निंग चैंटिंग में दरअसल यूज करते हैं
That's what I'm saying.
खाना चाहते हैं
So we should
उपस्थाना सूत्र
उपजथाना सूत्र. कौन सा उसका रेफरेंस बता दो. लिखा होगा ना तो नंबर.
726.
हाँ. मध्य में लिखा है 26. It is also, there are other suttas also. There is some one in Anguttara Nikaya also. So it is found in many suttas actually. And if you remember earlier we had mentioned, Yoniso Manasikara acts as a link between Sati and Panya. Because even if you are aware of what is happening, and if you don't give wise attention to it, you derive wrong conclusions from there. Sati will not automatically lead to Panya, unless that experience is properly reflected upon. You often forget it.
वाइज अटेंशन का क्या मतलब सेंस की
उसको
जान रहे हैं
उचित तरीके से देखना.
This is AN 557.
AN means अनुत्तर निकाय.
AN 5.57.
जैसे 5 रिफ्लेक्शन का है ना कि we are all subject to aging, death, illness. Whatever is dear to us will be one day separated from us. Whatever is happening, whatever I am today is the result of my karma. Karma is my real friend. It is from karma that I am born. If I have to take refuge, I should take refuge in karma. And whatever karma I do, kalyanam va papakam va tasya dayado bhavisami. I will be a recipient of that will become my inheritance. Dayado, word used is dayado. मतलब जो भी कल्याणकारी कर्म या कुशल कर्म मैं करता हूँ वही मेरी इनहेरिटेंस हो जाएगी. That is what I will inherit. So that's the power of karma. And if you reflect this again and again, and then see the experiences in the light of that, then wisdom arises.
जैसे ये तो सब जानते हैं ये भी पता चल गया कि दुख है जीवन में बुढ़ापा भी आएगा सब जानते हैं अच्छी तरह से फिर उसके बाद क्या करना
करना तो साधना करनी है, समझदारी से साधना करनी है.
मैंने जान लिया इसको जब साधना करेंगे वो भी जान रहा है कि उठ रहा है ये
उस साधना
बदल रहा है
जो अनुभव होते हैं ना साधना में, जैसे कोई विचार आया उसको आप प्रॉपर अटेंशन दे रहे हैं कि इम्प्रॉपर अटेंशन दे रहे हैं. दैट इज वेरी क्रूशियल. अगर मतलब जो विचार उठा उसको हम इस लाइट में देख रहे हैं कम्मस्य कौमी, तो वो आपके और भागी नहीं होगा कि मुझे अपने कर्मों के कारण उठा. आई मस्ट इन्वेस्टिगेट कहाँ मैं सुख मिलूंगा. नहीं तो विचार उठेगा कि देखो मेरे को उसने परेशान कर दिया. जस्ट गेट कैरिड अवे फॉर एटर्निटी. मैं बीमार हो गया, ये ना हो जाए, वो ना हो जाए, ये ना हो जाए. अरे जरा धम्मो में जस्ट रिमेंबर दैट the whole thing will fall right straight. If at that moment जब मन भटकता है हमारा साधना में, 3 कारणों से भटकता है. खासतौर पे हमारी उम्र में तो बीमार हो रहे हैं, दर्द हो रही है, बेचैनी हो रही है. So remember, okay, this is the nature of body, fine. So वो जो विचार है जिसमें कि हम प्रपंच पैदा हो जाता है, विचार उठा, अनुशय क्लेश है, उठा, उसको हमने उस लाइट में देखा. सी इट इन दैट लाइट. योनिसो मनसिकारा की आदत पड़ी हुई है हमें, तो जो आदत पड़ जाती है वो फिर हमको उस विचार से हावी नहीं होने देगा ना. बीमार है आदमी, बीमारी है, कुछ दिल धड़क रहा है बहुत तेज, अरे ये ना हो जाए, वो ना हो जाए, मैं ही बीमार हो रहा हूँ, कोई सारे नहीं होते. जस्ट व्याधि धम्मो में तो कैरेक्टरिस्टिक है शरीर की. सो द इम्पैक्ट ऑफ दैट थॉट विच इज अरिजन, इस टाइप की सबसाइड तो बहुत भारी हेल्प हो जाएगी हमारे साथ में, क्योंकि संस्कार जो हैं गहरे बनते जाते हैं द्वेष के, वो नहीं बनेंगे. आपने उसको ठीक तरह से देख लिया, यही बोलो, अटेंशन प्रॉपर दे दिया उसको. इनअप्रोप्रिएट अटेंशन क्या है? हाँ, उसी ने तो मुझे किया था परेशान, उसके कारण ही तो हो रहा हूँ मैं परेशान. वो इतना गलत आदमी है जो कितने गलत काम करता है. ये इसके in contrast to that, I mean, it may be absolutely right that he is doing a wrong action, but I can transform it into kammasya kaumi. We are owners of our action. वो जो हम जो सुनते हैं मैत्री, इसमें भी आता है ना. नहीं तो कभी मैत्री में ऐसा कहते हैं क्या? कोई कह सकता है? हम लोग तो, हमको तो नहीं कहा जाता मैत्री में ऐसा कहो. तो जो मैत्री है उसकी ट्रेडिशनल चांट, उसमें 2 बार ये बात में आती है. आफ्टर सेइंग may all beings be happy, may all beings be peaceful. Kammasya ka, we are all owners of our action. कहीं ये भ्रम ना हो जाए कि मैं मैत्री कर रहा हूँ सबको तो सबका मंगल ही होगा. Kammasya ka. Powerful statements, just one statement. Because otherwise, when you practice मैत्री and when you get into the confusion कि मैं मैत्ता दे रहा हूँ, तो बिल्कुल ही बहक गए ना.
But there's a need of that it may be true that that person is whatever. Then I am the owner of my action. How do you reconcile this?
That whatever has happened is certainly I have contributed to that.
I have contributed.
It cannot happen that I am cheated without deserving it to be cheated. See it? It cannot. खलील जिब्रान की जो प्रॉफिट है उसमें इसी तरह की स्टेटमेंट है, which is quite criticized, but if you reflect deeply, it says the one who has been murdered is not innocent. Just imagine.
It's not innocent.
Cannot be innocent.
Because he's being murdered because of his karma.
Yeah, it's implicit. For a poet to say that, and that too of a different tradition, you can imagine why he was asked to leave.
So it may be true that the perpetrator is that.
Yeah, he's become, the whole thing gets transformed, if you can really deeply imbibe it. You develop compassion for him कि मुझे तो अपने कर्मों के कारण ये दुख मिलना ही था, वो बेचारा उसका निमित्त बन गया. देखो, मुझे अपने कर्मों के कारण ये तो भोगना ही था. Disfavor or whatever unpleasant thing, it would not have happened without me deserving it. But that person, poor chap, has become a means for causing me suffering. So you have a different, total orientation change हो जाएगा. If you can remember this, just one, kammasya komi, and reflect upon it again and again and again. Kammasya komi, kamma dayado, kamma yoni. See, powerful statements. Kamma bandhu. तो और बंधु नहीं भाई. Nothing is going to stand you in good stead. Kamma patisaranam. That is the only refuge. Yam kammam karissami kalyanam va papakamma tasya dayado bhavisyami. भूखे ही रहेगा, कुछ चांस, कोई काट नहीं सकता उस बात को, कुछ भी करे. If I can really imbibe it, कितनी सफरिंग रिलीज हो जाएगी. So that is the power of wise attention. Manasikaram is attention, reflection. Can there be some way of stopping this updating? Just keeps on updating things and power gets draining. I don't know what is it. Background में जो चलता रहता है इसका.
Software updates.
Software
कुछ टॉपिक है सब.
बता देना बात से. So this is about the universal unwholesome mental factors. Let us see the occasionals which keep visit us off and on.
There's a Mansikar वहाँ भी आया था ना?
It was a
neutral.
neutral, yeah. It's ethically variable factor which is always present in every consciousness.
और यहाँ भी अच्छा
यहाँ पे तो proximate cause. It is a proximate cause. Improper attention is a proximate cause.
So that was within the mind.
Should we stop?
Yes.
Then we go ahead with the unwholesome mental factors which are occasionally at form. The lobha, ditthi, there are 10 of them, so let's go one by one. First is lobha, is greed or what is called as craving or raga, different names used in suttas for them. Tanha, in that sense of wanting something positive. So all degrees of selfish desire, longing, attachment, clinging, grasping an object, they are called, come under that category of lobha. Simile is given of a monkey trap. I think we have discussed it once. The way monkeys are trapped, you take a coconut, empty it, and then put a banana inside. So the monkey will put his hand inside, grasp the banana, then try to come out, and he can't. But he is not willing to drop the banana. He can drop the banana and come out, take his hand out, but he is not because of the strong attachment. Then gets trapped.
That's true for
It's the behavior play. Yeah. Then this is used as a method of trapping. Acha. Sometimes coal tar is used. So coal tar knows like palm first there. So then he'll try to from other foot. Rather than taking the foot here and getting out, he'll put another foot there. Then hand is totally trapped. So then we have seen.
Selfish desire, specifically selfish word used
Yeah,
here.
because that is the all desires
So
are
desires other which are like
unselfish. They may come under the issue of alobha.
so they're not part of lobha.
When this is
ethically
जैसे छंद है जो हमारा था
ethically
ना,
variable में भी हमने
एक छंद था ना,
छंद
ethically
था।
variable में छंद mental factor था. Wholesome wish, aspiration.
अच्छा
Distinguish between.
अनसेल्फिश डिजायर क्या डिजायर तो सेल्फिश होती है
नहीं, you have a wish for betterment of others. जब हम कहते हैं सबका मंगल हो, तो कुछ सेंस में तो भी डिजायर ही है ना कि सचमुच में हम चाह रहे हैं कि दूसरों का मंगल हो.
ये तो क्या चाहेंगे मंगल ही चाहेंगे
नहीं, ये तो कह रहे हैं. We are understanding what is selfish desire and what is not selfish desire. We just understand.
मंगल करते हैं किसी का तो वो सेल्फिश डिजायर होगी तो इसका मतलब भूल ही गया
Selfish नहीं हुई ना.
वो
तो कह
selfish
रहे
नहीं हुई,
अनसेल्फिश
वो unselfish.
हैं. It is unselfish. Then there further subdivisions of tanha in 3 categories: kama tanha, bhava tanha, that we have already studied a number of times. Then we come to the second, another very powerful thing. Lobha, again I have put in red because it is a root. Root meaning from here so many things will spring. Various variants of lobha will spring, which we are aware of. Then ditthi. Ditthi means wrong view. When we say samma ditthi, that means right view. When we say ditthi, it means wrong view. So you are grasping at a wrong view or opinionedness. Unwise interpretation of things, the various ways of superstitions, denial of law of karma, and one of the important manifestations of it is sakkaya ditthi, personality, notion of personal identity, which either can lead to eternalism or annihilation. If you say believe in personal identity and think that there is a soul, then it leads to eternalism.
So ditthi और moha तो similar हो गया. They
Similar.
can't see
Yeah.
true nature. That's why ditthi is not karma.
The difference between ditthi and moha I put there. I didn't discuss it since that question didn't arise. I'll just read it out for you. Moha is the ignorance of true nature of realities. and Ditti is wrong view about them. In one case, the true nature is got concealed. In another case, we have formed an opinion about them. Concealed तो हो गई, हमने देखी तो नहीं, तो हमने कह दिया नहीं देखो, हमको ये तो दिखाने की रियलिटी जो है पंच उपादान खंडा है, तुमने कहा आदमी है ना, खड़ा है, साफ है, तो we have formed an opinion, आया है, and then based on that opinion we live the whole life. So that is the distinction between the two. So there are so many suttas where these are talked about. The most extensive of them is the very first sutta of Digha Nikaya, Brahmajala Sutta, where 62 different kinds of ditthis are talked about, 62 ways of opinions about the nature of reality are talked about, or the nature of the human beings are talked about. So they're all termed by Buddha as ditthis, wrong views. In the eventual sense, there's nothing like a right view also. If you see the definition of a right view, it is dukkhe jnanam, dukkha samudaya jnanam. It's not an opinion about things. It's an understanding of how we cause suffering arises. So that's the important thing. And ultimately Buddha says that even the so-called right views should be put aside. Otherwise you grab hold of them and then make an issue out of them. So further explanation of that difference between the moha and the ditti is given in the notes. Moha clouds the mind and blinds the eye not to see things as nich, and it makes one see things as nitya, sukha, and atta, and shubha. That is what ditti does. I mean, they are basis of that. You know? Because of this wrong vision, lobha clings or attaches to the self or person, and ditti takes the wrong view that self and person really exist. An intensified state of lobha is called covetousness in the suttas. Abhijja use karte hain? Abhijja domanas. So it is an intensified state of lobha. The obsessive desire to acquire what others possess, to make others' property one's own, and so on. Its characteristic is that of sticking to an object. Lobha characteristic. An example is given like fresh meat in a hot pan. So if you put meat in a pan, it will just stick on that. So that's the example given. The third unwholesome occasional is mana, one of the most tenacious things, conceit or haughtiness. So it manifests in various forms. Self-exaltation, अपने आप को बड़ा चढ़ा के कहना, vain glory, pride, and it's compared to a banner. जैसे झंडा होता है अपना झंडा चढ़ाने के लिए, उसी तरह से अपने आप को बड़ा बनाना. It can also manifest in other extreme of self-depreciation. So Buddha says that the three modes which are possible, that I am as good as others, I am very bad, and I am very good, all the three are manifestations of conceit. Because at the root of it is the notion that I am something.
In the banner you mentioned Guru Nanak.
Yeah, there is a story given about Guru Nanak which I like very much. You might have heard. You know that he had gone to a big saint once, had invited him for food, so he had gone there, and he found that there are 11 banners on his entrance to his house. So after food they asked him, "Kya hai bhai, 11 banners?" He says, "Every time I get a lakh of rupees, I put a banner." अब मेरी वेल्थ में 1 लाख रुपए ऐड हो जाता है तो मैं एक बैनर लगा देता हूँ, तो 11 है तो मेरे पास 11 लाख रुपए वाला बनता है. So Guru Nanak says, very good. So he takes out a needle from his pocket and says, ये needle रख लो, अगले जन्म में वापस दे देगा. ऐसे कैसे हो सकता है? तो अगर ये नीडल तो संभाल के नहीं रख सकता तो 11 खम्भों में क्या करेगा, कब तक संभाल के रखेगा? That's the way of teaching of a teacher, to draw his attention to the conceit. And the lack of clear vision कि सब impermanent है, तुमने इसको permanent बना के वो झंडा गाड़ के रख दिया कि झंडा तो हमेशा ही लगा रहेगा. So these three
Saints are very simple. Very
Yeah, very beautiful way of teaching. So it's very illustrative. Guru Nanak के ऐसे कई सारे उदाहरण हैं. Very beautiful. So these three, Loga, Ditthi and Mana, they are collectively called as Prapancha Dhamma, which means they are responsible for extending the life. संसार का चक्र जो है इन तीनों के कारण चलता ही रहता है. तो इसलिए इनको specifically powerful mental factors माना जाता है.
So Ditthi is not universal answer also. Ditthi.
It arises from Loga. It may or may not be there. One can do unwholesome actions without even knowing the unwholesome है. बच्चा जो है पेड़ से किसी के पेड़ से आम सेब काट के ला रहा है, तो रोशनी नहीं कि ये गलत काम है. तो सेब पड़ा है आपने, जो भूख है खत्म हुई बाहर. तो बीच में विचार करने की जरूरत कहाँ पड़ी.
जैसे बच्चों का ये का एग्जाम्पल है, बच्चे को क्या बताते हैं.
हाँ, बट काम तो अनहोलसम रहेगा. काम तो रहेगा ही ना, अनहोलसम तो होएंगे ना.
जब उसमें इतनी समझ ही नहीं है तो उसको
ignorance of law is not alibi नहीं हो सकता. It cannot be a reason to escape from consequences.
That will be light
Light,
because
yeah.
the volition is not.
Volition is not. It's light.
Yeah.
जैसे अब हम अनजाने में किसी चींटी को मार देते हैं, गलत काम तो हो ही गया ना, बट अनजाने में हुआ, जानबूझ के नहीं किया. So it will be a light, yeah, it will be a light sankhara. Then we come to others. Dosha, Issa, Acharya, Kukucha. Dosha means aversion, to which we are all very familiar, I think. Issa means envy, Irsha. Issa means Irsha. Acharya means Matsarya or miserliness, and Kukucha means remorse or worry. After having done an unwholesome action, then you remorse about it or worry about it. Or not having done the right action at the proper time, then you remorse है, वो क्या यार मैंने वो काम कर दिया था तो ये अच्छा हो जाता, या कोई गलत काम कर दिया तो उसकी बाद में पश्चाताप हो रहा. So that is the word Kukucha. So you can see the dosha is generally seen to be the most destructive dhamma because it promotes all kind of violence and anger and ill will, and so all that is rooted in dosha, because that's why it's called unwholesome root. So it means there are so many types of manifestations which emerge from this root: anger, ill will, violence, crime, all kind of things. And it's a very tenacious, because it's a root, so it's a very tenacious.
And yet it is only an occasion, huh? That's interesting.
The universal is moha,
Yeah.
and from that root of that tree, which one will emerge will be governed by other factors put together.
But dosh is the root, eh?
Yeah, one of the root means from it sprang so many other things. So lobha, mola, moha and dosha are three roots, means hetus. They are the hetus from which the whole unwholesome springs arise. And similarly there are three corresponding positive hetus, just the reverse of them, from which wholesome actions are on which wholesome actions are rooted. So you can see I have put a set of synonyms for dosha. Just see that, read that out. Resentment, repugnance, hostility, ill temper, irritation, indignation, antipathy. So many. So you can see the various shades of dosha which manifest, and all of them you can, if you reflect deeply, you can see the difference between all of them. Intensity difference, flavor difference, manifestation difference. Envy again is, I think, quite easily understood because we feel it often, and it is jealousy at others' success. And it's a kind of background, continuous background unhappiness which we feel, especially as long as one is in your professional life. This kind of thing is very, very powerful. Always keep on feeling unhappy because somebody has got a success and I have not got. You see that person and there is unhappiness. See that person and that person happens to be your colleague, and their background and happiness for the rest of the life. Matsarya means miserliness, unwillingness to share success with others. It could be even that. It could be even unwillingness to share your Dhamma with others. So it gives rise to a cramped state of mind, a contraction in the mind. Then there is an apprehension and fear that if I do it, this may happen. If I share my wealth with others, people will know I am wealthy, and then they'll come more and more and more in number and things like that. So even surprisingly, it can be with respect to Dhamma. You don't want to share your Dhamma with others because you are afraid that they will get the same knowledge. All these kinds of funny things can happen. Then the
इस धम्मा के साथ जनरली ऐसा होता नहीं है, मतलब हम लोग जैसे कैंप पे भी करते हैं तो वी ऑलवेज फील लाइक कमिंग बैक एंड शेयरिंग इट विद अदर्स कि तुम भी जाओ, you should go.
But when you are in a race, it can happen. When you are in a race to become something on the basis of Dhamma, these kind of problems arise. The example of Vishaka's father-in-law, I think Venkaji gives in his discourses, you remember? In his discourses he mentions
Somebody comes and doesn't give him food, he says, "Kal ka kha rahe hain hum."
Yes.
बस ही खा रहे हैं.
Yes. And you have kukucha or remorse or worry after having done unwholesome action. So it is put as the regret of the commission of evil and omission of kushla. So I have done something wrong in the past and लोग उसका पश्चाताप कर रहे हैं, या कोई अच्छा काम इस पास्ट में करने का अपॉर्चुनिटी थी नहीं किया फिर उसका पश्चाताप कर रहे हैं. So that is what is kukucha.
तो अब इंसान कोई मानो गलत काम करता है तो उसका सोचता है कि हाँ गलती हुई, तो फिर क्या बात है?
उसको उस विचार को अगर हम बार बार लाएंगे तो मन बेचैन होगा ना.
बार बार इसलिए लाए कि देखो हमने गलत काम किया है,
उससे कोई फायदा तो नहीं होगा ना. तो उसको सुधारें ना. तो गलत काम किया, मान लीजिए मैंने किसी को डांटा है या किसी को कुछ नुकसान पहुंचा दिया है, मैं उसको सुधारूं ना. अपने मन में बैठ के चिंतन करने से तो कुछ नहीं होगा. या तो मैं अगर पॉसिबल है तो उस काम को सुधार दूं, नहीं है पॉसिबल तो किसी के सामने जाके कह दूं कि मुझसे ये गलती हो गई, आगे से नहीं करूंगा, तो मन से वो बोझ हट जाए. ये उदाहरण दिया था राहुल वाद सुप्ता में भी आता ना. इफ यू हैपन टू डू ए अनहोलसम एक्शन of any kind, speech, thought, or body, and you remember it later, then what do? You go and speak it out before a wise person, before some friend who can understand it, and take a vow that I will not repeat it. That's the way. तो इस तरह से रिमोर्स को समाप्त करना चाहिए, rather than worrying कि मैं ऐसा हो गया.
So Sudhakar has a question. Sometimes when I share my success story with others may develop envy, right? Not sharing is macharya in myself, is that correct?
It depends what is the volition. It's not the issue of sharing or not sharing. If I am not sharing because I don't want others to get the same or benefit from my insight, then it see, these three, Isha, Matsarya and Kukucha, they are in a sense related to dosha, but they take a dosha taking different kind of direction, different form it is taking, because line of reasoning is different. Aversion is there in each one of them, but in one case aversion is rooted in success of others, in one case it is rooted towards the gain they might get by my doing something. In third case, it is at my own actions or inactions. So then the last three unwholesome mental factors are Thena, Middha and Vichikiccha. Thena Middha means sloth and torpor, and Vichikiccha is doubt. So sloth is sluggishness or dullness of mind. It drains away our power and dispels the energy. Middha is torpor, mental and motor inactivity. कुछ करने का मन नहीं करता. And the commentaries define Thena as it makes the consciousness inert. And the example is given, it hangs down like a bat from a tree and like a pot of raw sugar hung to a pack. It is a form of mental density with no possibility of expansion. Like a lump of butter too stiff for spreading. So मन जो है stiff हो गया, it's not willing to move around. The shrinking state of the mind like a cock's feather before fire. अगर आग में मुर्गी का वो डालते हैं तो बाहर निकलाता है, क्रिम्पल हो जाता है and gets thrown out. And Middha is on the other hand is the morbid state of mental factors. So Thena is morbid state of consciousness and Middha is the morbid state of mental factors. And its characteristic is unwieldiness. Function is to smother. It's manifested as laziness or as nodding and sleep. These are the distinctions between them. But both of them will always occur together. And when they will occur, virya will be finished. So they are opposed to the mental factor of virya. The last of them is Vichikiccha, the doubt. It is a spiritual doubt. Inability to place confidence in teaching, confidence in Dhamma, confidence in Sangha, confidence in one's own ability. मेरे बस का नहीं है, ये मैं नहीं कर सकता. So the commentaries give a succinct definition like the doubt, the hesitating, the dubiety, which on that occasion is puzzlement, perplexity, distraction, standing at crossroad, uncertainty of grasp, evasion, hesitation, incapacity of grasping thoroughly. So these are the various examples, illustrations given of the unwholesome mental factors. So then there are the proximate causes for this, which I have given them. It's quite obvious. I mean, Lobha means enjoying things. If we lead, which lead to bondage. So if we practice that, there are things available which we enjoy, and then they are the ones which are likely to cause both. Ditthi is interesting. It says unwillingness to see the noble ones, not hearing God. That is the cause of ditthi. Then the mana, conceit it is greed. One of the factors of greed. Dissociated from the views, but there is views, but the greed by itself takes that shape. I am so good. Dosha, obviously, ground for annoyance will be the proximate cause, and Isha, other success will be the proximate cause. Then for Macharya, it is one's own success is the proximate cause, quite obvious. For remorse, wrongs of commission and omission. Then see again, the last three, unwise attention.
All three.
All the three, Thena, Middha and Vichikiccha, is unwise attention. Not giving proper attention to boredom. बहुत बोर हो रहा है, कुछ करने का मन नहीं कर रहा.
उसमें wise attention क्या होगा सर?
See it as impermanent stuff, impermanent mental state, which is the reason. When we feel साधना करते हुए कि वही हुए जा रहा है बार-बार, कुछ नहीं महसूस हो रहा है. Mind gets, creates an aversion towards that boredom. So the moment you see that boredom is arising, you can understand it is the mental factor which is arising, aversion which is arising, and then let it pass. Wait for its transience. See it as impermanent and not allow it to get over the next. Then you can also reflect various ways. Each of the ways, all the ways which we talk of, that the karma which I am doing here is what I am going to read. Most powerful reflection.
उसका स्वास्थ्य में तो वगैरह से क्या
जैसे हम साधना कर रहे हैं उस सेंस में वी टॉकिंग ओनली ऑन दैट मेडिटेटिंग एंड नींद आ रही है इफ यू रिमेंबर आई कैन डाई एनी मोमेंट एंड रियली रिमेंबर I can die at this moment in a state of unconsciousness. And you will say, no, I should be conscious. So that desire to get out of that will arise. That aspiration will arise. Otherwise, need ari, you don't take it seriously. You don't take it seriously.
Sometimes कोई बात नहीं, अगले सेशन में कर लेंगे. जब अगला सेशन आएगा ही दिक्कत कब करेंगे.
So if we can arouse that urgency, sense of urgency, and sense of urgency arises from Marana Dhammo Mi Maranam Anutito. So if you can remember that, then obviously there will be issues. So the friends want to leave, stop there. If there are any questions, we can take them. Maybe the last will also, you can see there's an example which I found in one reference, which is very interesting. You can just read it out. Understanding these unwholesome mental factors. He says, imagine that unwholesome mental factors were people and they were having a discussion after a retreat. So what will they say? So delusion will say things would have been better if only something could have been different. Shamelessness says, how does it matter if I disturb others? Yogis. Recklessness says, it did not catch me when I was sleeping in my bed. Restlessness says, when is the next retreat? Attachment says, I enjoyed the food at this center. Wrongview says, this is the only way to practice. Conceit says, I am the best practitioner of the group. Aversion says, I did not like the attitude of the teacher. Envy says, I wish I could practice others like others did. Selfishness keeps quiet because he wants to keep what he has learned to himself. Remorse says, I should have been more diligent. Sloth says, I could not be bothered to practice. Torpor says, I was too tired to practice. And doubt says, I don't know, I'm not sure if it has any benefit. This I think is a good way of
This is very nice.
putting down how these unwholesome mental factors manifest. Good, so we can stop this point. This will take later.
Any questions before we close for today?
Any questions? Thank you. Next Sunday again I will not be available, so we'll meet on 22nd. Okay. Any questions? No questions. Sudhakar is there or anybody else also?
Sudhakar is there.
Aditya and Amit.
And Sudhakar, Aditya and
Amit.
Fine, then we'll meet on 22nd.